I've been quite busy recently that I haven't had a first time movie watch in about 2 or 3 months. It's funny that taking a long break does have an effect on the film that ends your drought, it seems. With Cool Hand's Luke, I tended to notice things in regards to things I don't usually pay attention to, like shot composition, blocking, and framing. These things were on my mind whilst I was watching the movie, and I can't tell whether it's because I hadn't seen a film in such a long time, or because the things like shot composition, blocking, and framing in the movie were so good. Anyway, this film sees Paul Newman play the rugged, charismatic, lovable rebel with a twinkle in his smile that we've become accustomed to over the years, as his character Luke is thrust into a prison housed by docile inmates, whom feel the wrath of the harsh southern guards when they step out of line. It reminded me a lot of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in terms of its setup and overall structure. Newman is the typical anti-hero of the 60s, and his laid-back personality and unwillingness to conform to the prison guards' ways sees a battle of wits and endurance commence, with the guards attempting to break Luke's spirit. His spirit, which inspires the other inmates and feeds them bliss. There are numerous Christianity allegories and metaphors throughout the film, and Luke himself becomes something of a messiah for the inmates due to his individuality and spirit, which has made him unwilling to live by a set of rules dictated by other men. It reignites any distinctiveness and individuality the inmates would have lost when beginning to live a life in compliance with the guards' ways. George Kennedy gave a terrific masculine performance as Dragline, the prisoner at the top of the food chain whose status is challenged at the arrival of Luke. In no time, however, Dragline comes to respect Luke after the newcomer repeatedly gets back up during a boxing match the two have, despite being knocked down constantly, which sets a tone for Luke's character. This is a man who might not win, possibly never has won, but he's not a quitter. He's able to endure a mesmerizing amount of punishment, but stubbornly does not give up, a dangerous attribute the guards quickly take notice of. I think the director and cinematographer did a great job of really making us feel the overbearing heat of the location. The piercing sun is always a harsh observer of events, whilst the men sweat and ruffle their sticky shirts with their blackened hands as they perform their shoveling and weed-cutting jobs. Whilst the film has us witness some punishing ordeals, it isn't without its humour, most of it anchored around Newman's trademark smile. In fact, it's simply the smile that makes me feel only Newman could have played the role. There are others who have the presence, the likability, but it's the smile that is the deal sealer. And the characters even mention in the film that Luke's always smiling that smile of his. I enjoyed this film a fair amount. I think it's one of those that you can enjoy at a surface level in that it's simply a fun prison movie, or swallow up its religious, revolutionist and anti-establishment themes and see that it's also something greater. I give it a 7 out of 10.